Hello everybody and welcome to the Saskatchewan Weather Podcast. I'm Joshua Zorn. Do you want to check the video and just make sure that I'm in the shot too?
Yeah.
Are we good?
I've seen it. It's all black.
It should kick in.
There you go.
Are we good?
Yeah.
We can see
you
everything?
see me.
Do you want
You
to
see me.
tilt it a little bit?
Which one? This one or
No,
that
it's
one?
that one.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Hello everybody. We're just getting set up and ready to go here. Drum rolled. Oh, it's drum rolled like crazy. Thanks a lot, Josh. Are we good now?
What's the question?
What are you doing? I had it set that I had to move it. Sorry, everybody. We're a little dysfunctional. Okay, so tonight we're very excited to have a brand new podcast format. And back with us is the one and only Steven Anderson. And tonight we're also going to have Katie Nyman Skyping in with us. Last week we had some issues with audio and connection and blah blah blah, and it was the first half hour worked and we were able to upload that. Is it good? Like for camera?
Yes.
Okay, did you turn it off now? Just so that you're not. Last week wasn't really that good for our connection and everything. We were able to get the first part up with Natani Barusa up, but that was it. So we also had Josh, another Josh from Louisville, Texas on last week, but our live viewers could only hear him, couldn't hear me. So he's going to come back a little later on, and we're going to talk with him a bit. He's an up-and-coming storm chaser from Louisville, Texas. And Steven is going to be live chatting throughout the whole podcast, and so you can chat with him on the live chat down below and ask any questions, and I will be checking the chat hopefully periodically as well. All right, so getting the ball rolling here, we're gonna move on to our first guest, Katie Nyman. We're gonna try and call her. If we lose connection periodically, don't worry, we'll get it figured back out. But you got audio? Like, can you hear? Try turning up. Hello, are you there?
I'm here. Hello.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
We're pretty good. Steven's here too, if you want to say hi, Steven.
Hi, Steven.
Can you hear him?
Yeah, I can hear him.
Okay, that's good. I wasn't quite sure. We have kind of a whole new get up here. Can you hear her, Steven?
No. So
Try her.
I think I got it. I have to have the. I don't know if I'm doing it.
Well, yeah, because it was down really low.
No, it doesn't matter.
So, tonight, what we were going to talk about, first of all, we wanted to start off with a little update. We're currently under a snowfall warning, the entire southeastern corner of Saskatchewan. What is it? Tonight we're seeing, I think, 2 centimeters we're expecting. Tomorrow we could see another like 10 to 15. So when it's all said and done, we could see 15 to 20 centimeters over the next 24, 48 hours. So stay tuned to local warnings for that, as if we haven't had enough snow already. We've talked about this a lot. Now we're midway through March. What's going through your head? Do you think, is this really the winter that never ends? I say we were going to talk about this a little bit and we're going to get to it, is how this measures up to past winters. But first of all, do you think, in your opinion, is this ever going to end?
I hope so. But You know what? I wasn't expecting winter to last this long. I was like, okay, well, in November we had quite a bit of snow. I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe the rest of the winter will be a little less harsh. No, get into December, still quite a lot of snow. And then January and February we get tons of snow. And I was like, okay, March, we're in the home stretch. Winter will be ending soon. Nope, nope. Just when you think it's over, you get reminded that we live in Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
and got another blast. And I'm trying to convince myself that it's not going to end, or that it is going to end, but it's in my mind. We keep getting snow. It's like, when is it going to end? I don't know if it's going to be a extended winter, longer winter, but hopefully it ends soon.
Yeah, and we have a message in the chat here from Josh in Louisville, Texas. Said it was 83 degrees Fahrenheit there today.
Wow.
Thanks for rubbing it in, Josh. Wow. I heard that from Reed Timmer today too. That is like 80 degrees in Norman, Oklahoma. It's just, it's so. I like Twitter a lot, but some days it's it says Steven here while he wanting some snow right now. But in some ways it just alerts you to the nice.
Is he from Saskatchewan?
Who?
Where's he from?
No, he's from Texas.
Oh.
He's gonna be on later. We can talk to him. But in some ways, I don't like it because it alerts me to the nice weather that other people are having while we're getting record amounts of snowfall.
No kidding. You're experiencing all this cold weather and snowfall, and everyone else is getting, nicer weather.
Yeah, they're
that's okay.
walking around in their shorts.
Wow.
Pretty much. Yeah, and like the trees are I saw a video. The trees are blossoming in Oklahoma, and it's ridiculous. So yeah, unless it's a snow cone. So what have you been up to lately as far as trying to deal with the weather? Do you first of all, I wanted to ask you, do you think in your time living in, say, just the Regina area alone, that this is the worst winter we've seen?
I don't know if I would say it was the worst winter, but I would definitely say that, like, in terms of temperature, I don't think it was the worst winter, but in terms of precipitation and snowfall, I definitely think that it's up there. I think that even compared to a couple or a few years ago when we had all those records being broken with the amount of snow, I think that it even compares to that year in terms of, precipitation. But I don't think in terms of temperature it's really been that bad.
Yeah, as far as temperature, I think we've experienced a bit of a roller coaster. And
yeah.
And I think Steven probably would agree with me on that too. Hey, it's been up and down. It seems like for a period there back in February,
mood swings.
Mood swings, yeah. For a period there in February, we didn't. We would have a warm period, but we would get a ton of snow. Then it would get really cool for a couple days, and it would start to warm up, and then we get another dump of snow. Now we're in where it's pretty level as far as temperatures, but the last few days it's just been more snow, and it just keeps. It's a repeating cycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to hit the screen? So, guys, if you're on the live chat, if you have any questions, you can submit them on there right now. I have that open, and really excited because we have not had a single problem with connection tonight. We did a lot of rehearsing and practicing and testing this past week because I wanted to get this right. I was sick of it disconnecting on you guys and everything. Wanted to make this as high quality as we possibly can, and so really glad that it's working so far tonight. So spread the word. If you're on Twitter, tweet it. If you're on Facebook, share it with your Facebook friends. We want everybody to tune in. We have a question on the chat for you, Katie. How cold is it up there in Saskatchewan right now?
It's not as bad as it has been, but actually for March, it's really cold. -16 right now degrees Celsius, which is really cold for March, actually. But compared to the rest of the winter.
Yeah, I think the normal for March is something like -4, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's really cold for March, but not compared to the rest of the winter, it's not too cold, but for March, it is definitely very cold.
Somebody wants to know what that temperature is in Fahrenheit.
Who cares?
I have to think about. Yeah, I'll let you calculate that. I got to think about that. Fahrenheit freezing is 32, and we're 16. I don't know. I'm brain dead today. I had a lot of events in the city today, and I'm brain dead. But
it is 3 degrees Fahrenheit.
There you go,
That is what it
Josh.
is right
3 degrees Fahrenheit. That's without the wind chill.
Yeah.
So, we talked about this a little bit now. Oh, somebody wants Steven to get life support for me. I know I shouldn't be hosting the podcast when I'm tired, but no, this is what I look forward to every Saturday, especially when it works. So, do you think we've talked about this? We touched on this a little bit in past episodes, but now we're getting even closer to it, and we're starting to hear the media talk a lot about it too. Is the melt, and we're continuing to get more and more snow. And one of these days, I got to get a picture of the snow dump site east of Regina. It's basically a ski hill now. Is how much snow is in there. Like my boots. You'll have to show Cody. I'll have to show Steven the episode from last week, or 2 weeks ago, I guess. So, do you think that that's going to cause issues? I mean, if it's a gradual amount, do you think that the city infrastructure and in the country is going to be able to manage that?
If it's a gradual melt, I think so. If we get a whole bunch of warm weather at once, maybe not. I definitely think that Saskatchewan and even Alberta and Manitoba have been working together to come up with a plan that is better since the last big snowfall winter. But from what I've been hearing, it's not. I listened to the news tonight, and the Saskatchewan government and the municipalities around Regina are all reporting that it's going to be an above average runoff, but nothing like a few years ago when we had a whole bunch of snow.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see, because I mean, even when we were like last week when we were at those normal temperatures, even when the sun was out, it was melting
exactly
on streets and driveways. So just think, if you had the sun combined with, say, even a 5-degree temperature for 8 hours out of the day, it's gonna create a mess.
Yeah, that's what I don't understand their reasoning behind their forecast for the runoff. I think that everyone should be definitely prepared for the worst. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but I think that we should definitely be prepared for it.
All right, and for anybody watching, I want to give a shout out to Josh on the live chat. For anybody watching, you can follow him on Twitter at JC Storm Chaser, and he's going to come on a little later to talk with us as well. And I know, Katie, you have a few. We discovered this a couple weeks ago. When we were talking with Jesse Walters, you have a few fans of your photos out there, and everybody's wanting us to put them on the website. and you need to send them to me.
Yes, I will do that. I will do that, actually. I've been having so much going on. I was supposed to write for the newsletter, and I totally forgot. And I've just been having a lot of things going on with school and everything. So, but I will definitely, I'll get those to you tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah,
Promise.
we did a whole revamp of the website, and then as we get closer to storm season, we're kind of fine-tuning a few things. We just released the revamped podcast archive, which you can find at SaskatchewanWeather.ca/podcast, and then we'll also hopefully put a couple of albums of Katie's under the photos page there as well. And if you guys want to sign up for that newsletter that Katie was talking about, all you have to do is go to the website and become a member. Just on the home page there, you can just click sign in, and instead of signing in, if you're not already a member, you can just hit become a member, and it's really simple. You can create your own profile. You can even upload and share your own weather photos on there and interact with other members and storm chasers and stuff. It's a really cool thing that we're kind of developing, and it's neat to see how that's been growing. There's some really neat photos on there too from Nadani Barasa, who we had on last week, has some cool ones on there and such. And next week, I haven't talked to you, Katie. Are you going to be on next week? Or do you know yet?
I should be.
Okay, because we're planning to have, tentatively, he's got a busy schedule, usually, but we're planning to have Reed Timmer from tvandweather.com is going to come on and talk to us about their upcoming web series, they successfully completed a Kickstarter campaign just yesterday, I believe it was. They reached their goal of $75,000, and they now have a stretch goal for $100,000. And if you guys want to pledge to that, we can. I'm just watching the live chat here. Sorry, I get distracted easily. What are you saying on the chat there, Steve? You're not even saying anything. Okay, I really want to see this. Oh, you're talking about the Moose. Yeah, the Moose episode is on the page there, I believe.
From Josh.
And we're gonna put the no, it says Steve.
It's gonna be quite an honor, Josh.
Yeah, there's an okay. And he's gonna come on and tell us about their plans for the 2013 season of Tornado Chasers. I've seen the complete first season, which is a entirely self-made web series about storm chasing in the U.S. Really some incredible stuff there in the last episode. They get their left back passenger side window blown out and everything. It's really crazy. Steven hasn't even seen any of it yet. I'm going to have to show some of it to him. But so yeah, if you want to check that out, you can go to tvandweather.com/Kickstarter if you want to pledge to it. Yeah, and so we're going to hopefully have him on next week. For those of you who don't know who he was actually one of the stars in the now canceled, which I have no idea why, television series Storm Chasers on Discovery Channel. And yeah, he's been inside multiple tornadoes, and they're building a new Dominator 3 this year with Sean Schofer out of Melville, Saskatchewan, who we're also going to have on to talk about the Dominator 3 in a couple weeks' time as well. That's nearing completion too. So a lot of cool other guests coming up in the next couple weeks, just so you guys are aware. So you guys have any questions, you can submit them on the live chat. So now, Katie, I was going to ask you, we're kind of sticking on the winter theme here. Well, first of all, Steven, do you have anything you want to talk about?
Not really.
Nothing at all.
Nope.
he's just the chatter here on the chat. That's all he does. So sticking with the weather theme, you're gonna have to hit that camera again. But, just hit on the bottom. There we go. So we talked about the extremes that we've had this winter. What do you think is worse when you have the snow coming down, if you have a really heavy snowfall plus the wind? Is that something that you find is a real cause of major issues? What causes the worst problems for road conditions? Let's try that. I think is a better way to approach it. Heavy snow with wind or freezing rain overnight?
Snow with wind or freezing rain. Well, I think that if it's heavy snow with wind with cold temperatures, really cold temperatures, then I think that can be less severe than freezing rain if it is warmer and it freezes and creates like basically sheets of ice to drive on. But I think that if it was blowing snow and wind with warm temperatures, that could be even worse because there would be one, low visibility, and two, there would be snow obviously, but then the snow would be wet snow, and so that would create bad driving conditions along with the wind and everything else.
Steven just said about the Dominator 3, they should just get a DeLorean and pimp it up.
They go back to the future and see good tornadoes.
Back to the future. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to bring in Josh from Louisville, Texas now. Who... What?
Never mind.
Yeah, it's going to get confusing, eh?
Yeah. Josh A, Josh B.
Who has some questions for us, I think, and just wanted to kind of join in the conversation tonight. Hello.
Hello.
How are you tonight, Josh?
Doing good. How are you?
We're pretty good. Thanks for coming on with us tonight.
I'm glad to be here.
So, were there any particular topics you wanted to kind of touch on tonight with us, or?
I don't know. Hit me. I'll take anything you got.
Anything you got? Well, I'll start off with you, Katie, while I think of something.
You may need a book.
Anything about anything related to Texas weather? Throw it at Josh.
Okay, I gotta say this, what is the most severe storm that you have experienced in your lifetime?
Dude, that's a toughie, because I've seen a lot of severe storms in my lifetime. And a lot, I mean, they can go on like 2 books or so, maybe. One of the severe storms I think I've seen when I was a kid was that I was on the first level of stairs, looking out the window, because when you're a kid, you're so curious on what's going on. What was going on is that I don't know. I was just seeing things or something like that, and something was spinning in the atmosphere, and big old lightning strike struck my house, and It sounded like a bomb just went off. And it was. I'm just running for my life, saying, please don't kill me." I did know something right. I did not do anything wrong. Don't take my life now.
So, sorry, go ahead.
And just to bring up another severe storm that I've actually seen a tornado where I'm at. It wasn't really all that big. It was just a skinny looking thing or whatever. It didn't touch the ground at all. And then what's funny is that there was a funnel spinning above my house. So I'm like, oh my god, that was so cool. And my family's outside watching me spin around my house. I'm like, this is crazy.
Wow.
Sorry guys, I'm just making a post on Vine. Steve is making some cool poses here. Okay. Steven, I'm gonna ask you a question now.
Okay.
Okay. What's the most severe storm you've ever experienced? While you think about that, I just want to say, if you guys, I don't think I have the link. I'm gonna put the link on the website to it later on. But we just last week released some never before seen footage of the aftermath of what was labeled as a plow wind that went through the town where we live in 1995. But many witnesses and stuff of it actually said it was a weak tornado. And this footage is basically the aftermath of all the damage and everything. There's trees uprooted, farm equipment thrown from the farmyard to the side of the ditch and everything. So if you guys want to check that out, it's on the YouTube page, youtube.com/SaskatchewanWX, which has also just had a facelift too with the all new YouTube channel design. So all kinds of new things going on. So Steven, what's your most extreme storm experience?
I don't really have one, honestly. Like, I've been in a fair amount of storms, but they're usually not like, I don't know, maybe one time was, I was a little kid though. This wasn't even barely a storm. I was at the Ryder Stadium and saw funnel cloud forming just outside of Regina. And and you could see it kind of connecting. But at the last second, just kind of, it just went away pretty much. I was a little kid, so I was getting freaked out because it was actually fairly close in a stadium full of people. So, yeah, but I don't know. It was pouring rain out too, and there was just lightning, and I don't know. But I haven't been in a lot of storms that were really bad. How about you, Josh?
No, I'm watching videos here. Yeah, one crazy storm was last year, and obviously last year, Saskatchewan got a lot of publicity, kind of for the multiple tornado days that we had here in the province, and it was, I think, June 27th or something like that. And I was out at Buffalo Pound Provincial Park actually this day, camping, and I didn't have radar data or cell phone data or anything, so we were just going through by what the information on the radio, and so then out looking around, and we started to see this great display of mammatus start to form, and that was really like creeped you right out basically. So and then so we sat down by the lake basically in the vehicle and filmed and watched this funnel cloud, and I called a funnel cloud. It really looked like it might have touched down really for a brief second, but it's hard to tell because it was across the lake up on the hill, but it was a definite funnel cloud. It was rotating across, and then we saw that form and then dissipate, and then we realized, well, we haven't even had any precip yet come through, and wind's starting to pick up. So we go back to the camper, get the awning up, get inside, and it starts to pour, and I mean, like that was one of the most intense storms like that I've sat through as far as precipitation, because it just poured, pea-sized hail mixed in there, and it lasted for a good probably 5 to 10 minutes, and it was washing dirt away and stones away out in front of the camper, and it was like, our mat's gonna get carried away with this. It's ridiculous.
Pinned up against the camper.
Yeah, and so and we just got we didn't even have time to get the dog in his kennel. We just threw the door open, and then he went in there, and I think sat it out in there. But yeah, that was that's a storm that I'll probably never forget. How about you, Katie?
Actually, it was that same storm, but I was here in Regina at my house, and I remember the mammatus clouds.
Yeah.
And so everyone, I was on Facebook, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, like, you got to look at these clouds. So sure enough, I went outside, and the display of mammatus clouds were outside, and and they started to go away a little bit, but then there was like sheet clouds coming from the southeast, and they were coming in, and they were coming in, and they were really dark, and I was like, okay, well, these are some like weird clouds, like what's going on? So I went inside, and then I looked out the window again, and they were right overhead. The mammatus clouds were far gone, and but it just started to pour, like Josh said, and there was so much rain, and the streets were flooded. There was probably from the street until the sidewalk was just, it was like a stream, a river basically, of just water, and the all of the drains and everything were overflowing with water, and it was crazy. Like, you should have seen the rain coming down. It was as if someone took like a fire hose and just stretched it over the entire sky,
like,
and just
full
turned
blast.
it on. Yeah,
Full
it was like
blast.
that. Yeah.
That must have been that must have been hard to see, because it could have reached your house too, and you would have been done.
Oh, for
But
sure.
luckily you didn't. Yeah, I mean, like, you had nowhere to go, so just pray and live. That's all you can do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, and that day, like you said, there was all kinds of, like I said, I didn't have internet access out there, and so when I got back, I was seeing all these pictures of the mammatus clouds and stuff. It was even more incredible. I wish I was in Regina that day, because there was even more incredible photos, because the mammatus formed basically right at sunset at Regina, but we're a little farther west, so we got it a little earlier in the day, and it was basically just great. But mammatus at sunset is one of the coolest things to photograph. Cody, Josh, you already answered that question from Cody. That's good. For me, the biggest tornado that I've ever seen. Well, like I said, that one at Buffalo Pound. I kind of call it a tornado. It was never. I don't think it was a confirmed touchdown. I know that. I was also at another storm later on in July. This was kind of an impromptu, let's just go out and take a look at the storm type of chase. And we got this huge supercell started to form. It was forming a wall cloud, and then it turned into a shelf cloud at the front. And then way back in behind was this huge lowering of a wall cloud. It was rotating. I think that storm actually went on to produce a tornado. We weren't on it when it did. But just a couple weeks ago, I was going through some radar archives of Environment Canada of some of the images, and that was quite something to see, because some of these days I didn't have access to radar the whole time, and so it was neat to see what storm went through where we were and what it looked like on radar. So it was pretty interesting. There were several days there in June and July that we just had these perfect, they were basically lines of storms of little supercells that just kind of form one by one in a little diagonal pattern, like you would see in Tornado Alley. So, Josh, was there any questions you had for Katie or Steven?
Oh yeah, one for Steven. Steven, why would you be fine with a little F1? I mean, it just doesn't feel that good. I mean, I'd rather have all the adrenaline seeing the EF5, because it's the most amazing thing you can see in your lifetime, because EF5s are kind of rare in some areas. In other places like Dixie Alley or Oklahoma, I mean, you can get huge tornadoes. You can see huge tornadoes, but a little F1, dude, you gotta be kidding me. No disrespect, but I'd rather see something way bigger than that. And film it, of course.
Would you like to respond? Or do you want me to respond?
No, I have to listen to you.
Oh, right, there's a delay. How long of a delay is it?
10 seconds.
Steven has a little bit of a delay in his audio compared to me. We're still working on this.
The reason I want to see an F1 really is because it's on my bucket list, and I've done reports on like
But I think what he's asking is
tornadoes.
why is it on your bucket list?
Why is it? Because I want to see one. They're amazing.
So you don't care what strength it is, you just want to see a tornado?
No, I don't want to. I'd see a tornado as long as no one dies.
Yeah. I think what he's trying to say is that a nice photogenic tornado over an open field, to him.
Oh,
maybe it
to
picks up a
respond to
cow.
that,
I don't really
sorry
care.
for disrupting, but if you want to see something that big, South Dakota or North Dakota gets tornadoes that big later in the season. So if you're going to see a tornado that large in an open field, go to those other two states, is what I recommend to you.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they can happen everywhere, but yeah, I do know what you mean as far as them occurring in North and South Dakota. So I was gonna put this question to Katie. What do you kind of think about? I don't know if you had a chance to see, if you saw TVN's kind of campaign for fund on Kickstarter for Tornado Chasers 2013. We talked about that earlier. That got funded yesterday for sure. Are you familiar with Kickstarter and how that all works, or have you had a chance to look at that?
I haven't had a chance to look at it, no.
So basically what it is, it's kind of like a crowdfunding thing, and it's actually becoming quite and it was really timely because there was just a story about it on the news the other night, that it's kind of becoming a popular thing for film projects and things like that. So it's kind of a neat little way that people are getting funding from people, supporters and fans of what they're doing. If they can't get enough sponsorships or
I think I've actually, I haven't looked at that particular Kickstarter, but I didn't. There was a YouTuber, and he doesn't YouTube weather, but he's like a daily vlogger named Shay Carl.
I know.
Yeah, right. So he's making a documentary about how he got into vlogging as opposed to like weather or whatever. So he's making a documentary on that, and he did a Kickstarter for his fans because he couldn't get a producer. So there's a
I think it was a Canadian TV show or something too, wasn't it? And this was on that news story, was that the show got canceled or whatever, but they want to make a movie of that same series or whatever, and so the actors and some of the directors or whatever started this Kickstarter. They've raised over $2 million, I think, so far. So it's pretty.
Oh my gosh!
It's pretty incredible what that can do, and because it's been said before too. It's not really a donation because you can get stuff in return. So like if you're interested in supporting Tornado Chasers, you can go to tvnweather.com/Kickstarter, and for I think it's a $20 pledge, you can get the whole season for free once it's released, kind of at the end of September, October. I think is their target for releasing that. So yeah, it's some cool things. We'll have to maybe talk to Reed about that a little bit next Saturday when we hopefully have him on.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting conversation going on here in the chat about what would happen if you jumped into a tornado.
Well, you're gonna die, obviously. He wants to jump into an EF5, so he needs a reward for the craziest person to jump into a tornado, but too bad he won't get it because he's already dead.
Yeah, you probably would get killed by flying debris if there was, if you hit or trees or whatever before you even got in the tornado. So
trees, wood, cars, whatever.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It'll die by debris, any debris.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
There is such a thing as an F5.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought so. What's the difference?
They got rid. Didn't they change? I know they changed the enhanced Vegeta scale. I mean, what happened to the original scale? They don't even use that anymore, do they?
What change, or like when did this change that you're talking about occur? Like how long ago?
I know they've been using EF5 since I remember, since Greensburg, Kansas tornado, which was in 2007.
Yeah, That is a bit of an ongoing debate, I think, about how tornadoes are measured and stuff too, and that's an interesting point. Is how, uh, basically, for anybody who's not familiar with the enhanced fajita scale, is that it goes up by wind speed, basically, and there are some other factors that can go into labeling the strength of a tornado, such as damage, if there is any kind of a damage path or whatever. But wind speeds are estimated wind speeds and size are kind of really the best things that meteorologists and stuff have to go on. So basically, it goes up by wind speeds. At EF5 being the strongest.
I think I could give an example.
Yep.
An example would be like I said, the Greensburg, Kansas tornado, which was on May 4th, 2007. It was at night, so no one can see it. It was like almost like a 2-mile wide monster with like 200, 300 mile an hour wind, and it obliterated that town in one hit. I mean, that's just crazy, to be honest. To have a tornado that size go through that small of a town.
Yeah, and in another one was I think in 2011. Was it? No, I'm thinking of what am I thinking of here? I know Tuscaloosa got hit. But it's
April 27th of 2011.
Yeah, Joplin, Missouri was the one that 75% of that city was obliterated, just flattened.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah. So it's
but Tuscaloosa was an EF4. I thought it was an EF5, but it was actually just a really big, violent EF4, and I believe it was strong enough to be an EF5. I mean, because going through 80 miles of destruction, killing 500 people, and leaving $1 billion of damage, and as violent as it was, it should have been an EF5. I mean, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I think there are a lot of other factors. It'd be really cool to, when we have somebody on chat right now who says that there's a thunderstorm in Kelowna right now. Jared Visco.
Yeah, there's like severe storms going on in Virginia right now, but they're about to go off the coast or something. Yeah, this is what he's talking about.
I think Jared's referring to Kelowna, BC, in Canada here. Yeah, Jared, let's go chase it. Let's go get some lightning shots.
Drop everything and go chase at night.
Yeah, go get some cool lightning shots. Yeah, that's something we were talking about is how long this winter's been, and Jared has some cool photos.
Too long.
Yeah.
Too long. That's what I say. Please end now.
First one.
And Jared has some cool winter photos and stuff. You can follow him on Twitter. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jared. I think it's just at Jared Misco, if I'm not mistaken.
Is there any moose in it?
Is there any moose? I think Cody's the only one so far to have the moose. He sent me, and I retweeted earlier. He sent me a photo of a rabbit today, so he's keeping the wildlife thing going.
A rabbit, scary. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's entertaining for us to see wildlife because that's about all we see.
So it'd be entertaining to see a worm.
To see a worm, that would be both entertaining and extremely rare.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I did see out in a field. I was walking my dog, and all of a sudden I look out and there's these 4 shadows basically moving, and I realize it's 4 deer.
Oh, you're being stalked, being followed.
Yeah, no, it was actually 4 big deer who were going out, and they crossed the road not far from where I was walking my dog and stuff, and so that was kind of neat to see. I actually got that on film and everything, but yeah, that's about. And then one other night coming home, I saw even more. I think I was like 8 or 9.
Saw them.
But it was pitch black, and I couldn't get a good photo of it because they're out in this field. And
we were coming home. It was by the acreages over there. The new, not in Pilot Peak, but outside, but over the trailer, over the rail tracks.
Well, were they over there then?
Yeah, and that was like.
It's probably
4
the
o'clock.
same group.
That was 4 o'clock. There was at least 10 of them.
Yeah, this was coming home one night from the city. And,
I have a question for you, Josh.
Sure.
It's like, what is the one animal you really want to either film or take a photo of?
I know I sound like I'm a real wildlife geek. I'm really not, but actually, it's kind of funny. I'll talk about that in a second. But one animal I'd really like to film. There is one thing that I really kind of have an interest in, and that would be like a snowy owl or something. And I know Nani Barasa has seen some stuff like that.
Black Panther.
Oh God.
It's this cat.
Yeah, it's this cat that'll really rip you to shreds.
Said anything.
So yeah, do it at your own risk.
Burrowing
Yeah.
owl. Burrowing owl.
Burrowing owl for Steven.
Prairie dog.
Yeah, well, we have a abundance of prairie dogs in Saskatchewan. It's just a matter of catching them at the
Owl.
moment.
They're too quick. Too many freaking phase plants.
Well, thanks a lot for joining us tonight, Josh. We're almost out of time here.
I see the chicken. Sorry.
What?
Like Saskatchewan native bird or whatever. It's a chicken.
Oh, you mean
Ooh,
those-
chicken.
Prairie chickens.
Oh, did they like?
They're
just run on
wild.
the
They're
ground?
wild. They just run around.
Yeah, filming a chicken must be really entertaining for you.
Native bird.
I think.
I'm
Yeah.
not racist.
We're
I don't know what to
What? Okay, Steven's gonna stop talking now. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight, Josh, and we'll talk to you later. And good luck out there this season.
All right, you too, man.
Talk to you later. Bye. Katie, anything else you wanted to talk about before we kind of wrap it up here?
Oh, not really.
Steven, you thought of anything? He just jerks his head like he's falling asleep. If you guys have any other questions for us, you can submit them on the chat right now. I'm monitoring that. Yes, you should. Bye. Why did you say bye? Yo. Okay, he's just staring blank at the screen now. Should have gave him some coffee. One more question for you, Katie. I think you have to go shortly. Am I correct?
Yeah, I have to leave.
Um,
Here.
do you think that? How do you think this winter is going to measure up? Do you think that the extreme weather that we've seen this winter? Oh, that's interesting. Will mean. I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing with this guy in the chat. We gotta have Steven on more off today, people, because he keeps the chat going. Because I can't chat and talk usually at the same time, so we're gonna have him on more often with the round table set up here. Pretty fun.
We need a bigger table.
Do you think? Yeah, we do need a bigger table, but it's just low budget. Keep grinding, never stop podcasting. Do you think that with this extreme weather that we've seen this winter, that's going to translate into another extreme more extreme weather this summer?
You know what? I definitely see it as a possibility. Last season we had a very active summer and even fall season of extreme weather. So I think that with the fluctuations in temperature and the amount of precipitation that we've had throughout this winter, we could definitely see severe storms throughout the summer.
Yeah, I think that's a definite possibility. I mean, really, there's lots of research and stuff that's gone with this too. In Saskatchewan, really, tornadoes were a fairly rare occurrence. And last couple years, it's really picked up, and the frequency of them. And I know last year was especially a big one. But you know, I think it's just gonna be a matter of wait and see. And I think right now, it's hard to look that far ahead because it just seems like this winter is never gonna end.
For sure, yeah, that's my point of view as well.
All right. Well, we're gonna let you go, Katie. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight, and hopefully
You're
we'll
welcome.
have you on next week for Reed Timmer.
For sure.
Okay. Talk to you later.
Okay, goodbye.
So, if you guys have any questions, we're wide open for questions. Anything and everything. Right now, it's the open line session of the show. Aliens. What are we talking about?
Aliens.
Aliens.
Tornadoes. Aliens.
Totally relates.
Yeah, no.
Steven wants to sleep with an alien. What?
No. Where?
That's what he said. We're also going to be working on ways that you guys can, in the future, you can call in during the show. Right now, it's obviously, we have this really cool live chat set up going, and which we really enjoy. We really love having you guys interact with us on the chat, asking questions and having conversation. And it's getting a little weird at this point. I don't know where this is headed with aliens and whatever. Welcome to, we have a couple of new viewers just coming online. If you guys just joined us, we just finished talking with Katie Nymanen. You can follow her on Twitter at Katie Nieminen, and her Twitter link is actually scrolling along the bottom of the live stream player. If you guys have any questions, submit them through the chat down below. You just create a nickname, or you can sign in with Facebook, I believe, as well, and submit them through there. Who would you guys like to have on? We have a live poll question right now. We're finished our guest segment of the show. Now we're opening it up to discussion. Who you guys would like to have? Who you guys would like to see us have on the podcast? Whether it be, a certain meteorologist or storm chaser. We're looking for brainstorming ideas because we always like to have feedback from our viewers to keep, to be bringing people on that interest them and interest you, and makes it easier for us to decide on who to ask. We have JC Garden, we're going to be recording an interview with him next week, and we'll be playing that on the next podcast as well. He's a weather specialist for CTV Regina here in Saskatchewan. We have a couple other cool guys local guys from Saskatchewan, storm chasers, photographers lined up as well, and that's kind of what we're focusing on in the next couple weeks as we get closer to storm season. Roofies. Not sure what this is referring to.
What?
Never mind.
I'm just waiting for the delay.
So, yeah, if you guys have any ideas, submit them now on the chat.
What about roofies?
I don't know.
Roofies, bro.
If you want to help out TVN and their campaign for their web series this year for the 2013 season of Tornado Chasers, go to tvnweather.com/Kickstarter. And I'm just reading the chat here again. I can't talk and read at the same time. We're also working on our own kind of web series this year. You can view the pilot at SaskatchewanWeather.ca/web-series. Pilot episode is on there now. It kind of just gives you, it features some of our winter storm footage from this winter, and kind of gives you an idea of what how the series is kind of going to be formatted, and how it's all going to work, and etc. And so we're really excited to be releasing that. That's going to be available for free on YouTube. There'll be full-length episodes starting probably in September. We're already filming. This filming's already started for that. And going to be starting to put some of that stuff together. We've had so much winter storm flares this year. It's going to be crazy to be going through some of that. So, what do you want to talk about? Because we got to talk about something that you want to talk about. For you, okay, I'll ask you some. I'll put some questions to you. Just get to know Steven Anderson a little bit better.
Oh yeah.
Since some of these people watching may not be familiar with you, because it's been a while since you've been on the podcast. For you, what are you looking forward to about storm season this year? What are you wanting to try to do as far as photography and stuff? Because I know that's something you're really into. There's a delay here. We're gonna get this figured out for next time.
What was the question? I wasn't paying attention.
Right in your ear. Oh my goodness. What are you looking forward to this storm season for photography and stuff?
Summer.
But I mean, what are you planning to shoot for storms? Are you gonna try and come out with me and do some lightning shots,
I'm
or what?
gonna kick some snow in the air and take a picture of it.
I mean, this storm season.
Oh,
Are you going
some
for lightning?
tornadoes and lightning. That's the big one.
Is he asleep? Throw a pillow in his face. I probably should do that, Josh. Thanks for giving me that idea. Where's my water bottle? My water bottle here. Splash cold water in his face. Put a brick in it. That works better. Okay, we're not going there. We'll put the camera just on him next time. Keep him honest. Yeah. And what other thing I should mention is, yeah, I know you and I are really wanting to get out and get some lightning photography down this year. Didn't really get a chance to do that last year. If and when we have, well, I should say when, because we're pretty much guaranteed to have some, even if it's just non-severe weather. If it's severe weather, we'll probably be out, that comes through here, we'll probably be out chasing, documenting it. If it's non-severe, we'll probably be sitting in the driveway trying to shoot lightning photos and stuff. And as we're doing that, we'll be filming that, and we'll also be live streaming it. Live streaming that on the website. And be able to interact with you guys as the storm goes through, and kind of stream a light show this year, because we get some really cool lightning storms in the prairies, especially in July, August. So don't be wagging your fingers at us, dude. Is he wagging? Were you wagging your fingers? Oh yeah, you're going to. It seems like he's not paying attention, but he's just so involved with the live chat. The problem is, actually, Josh, and I'm not making excuses for him, this is an honest thing, that he actually has headphones on, and there's a delay between what you hear. Actually, no, there shouldn't be a delay between what... There's a delay between what I say and what he hears. So we kind of have a studio set up where we're not perfectly connected yet. And we're going to have that fixed for next time, hopefully. He's just hearing that now. If you guys have any questions, submit them now. We're almost out of time here. If you missed any part of the podcast, we had Katie Nyman on, as well as Josh for a bit from Louisville, Texas. Thanks to all of our guests. Thanks to all of our viewers. If you guys missed any of it, we'll have it in the archives later on. I'll tweet the link. Yeah, Josh is in front of me. Yeah, I know he is in front of me. I don't know. That's what I thought it would work, because he's right in front of me. I thought he'd be able to hear me fine. Do you want to just take one out of your ears? There. Does that work better? kind of have to coach him along. It's my apprentice.
I'm tired. I've done a lot today.
So am I. I keep pronouncing Louisville wrong. That's what I was kind of afraid of. Is it Louisville? Tell me if I'm right. What do you think, Steven? Pronouncing of that
Louisville.
Town. Louisville? Looks like Louisville. Louisville? Tell me if I'm right. What do you think? We're gonna have an echo. Oh, amateurs. Louisville. Louisville. I gotta get this right if you're gonna keep tuning in and stuff, because I like to say where you're from, but I need to be able to say it correctly. Louisville, yes. Okay, got it. Spelt like it. No, sounds like it's spelt. There we go. Figure that one out. Okay, we're both very tired. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. For more, you can check us out on Twitter. Steven's Twitter is
eSteven at eSteven8.
At eSteven8. My Twitter is at JoshuaZorn_SKWX.
Right.
If you're not already a member, become a member on SaskatchewanWeather.ca. It's completely free. You get newsletters. You get to upload your own weather photos. Interact. It's basically like a Facebook community, except for weather watchers and storm chasers and stuff, and it's really cool. And you'll also our members will get the first dibs at seeing our first premiere episode of the 2013 season of our web series Storm Hunters. So there's some extra incentive for you on there. You can also check out the blog at SaskatchewanWeather.blogspot.ca. Katie is also a contributor on there, and we'll also be getting some of her photos. She has some really cool weather photography. We'll also be putting some of those up on the site as well in the coming days, hopefully. And yeah, let us know what you would like to see added to the website. Always trying to improve the layout and content and everything. One neat thing I should let you guys in on, we still have still in the works, kind of in the development process. We're going to be adding a video on demand library that will give you kind of a periodically we'll be uploading short little video clips and stuff to that will give you all of our storm footage and stuff, and podcasts will still be going on YouTube, but we'll be giving kind of behind the scenes looks throughout the storm season as to what we're doing, and how our webisodes are filmed, and different things like that, and how that's progressing. And that'll be all going into a library, which you'll be able to view on demand on the website. Anything else you wanted to add?
Nope.
We'll keep you posted on Twitter and Facebook tomorrow, tonight through tomorrow, as the snowstorm hits. I'm not sure. Do we have an updated radar? As the snowstorm heads this way, like we said at the top of the show, lots of, I don't know, it's up to 20 centimeters in some areas expected, which quite significant. And given people were just digging out from the snow we got on Thursday, so we'll keep you posted on that. And we could see some fairly high winds with that too, so it could be some very treacherous driving conditions. And we'll have updates and footage from the field as that develops. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We really appreciate you tuning in and chatting with us. Thanks to my co-host Steven Anderson. We'll have the live chatter, grinding it out no matter how tired he is.
Fist bump.
And yeah, we'll see you next week, everybody. Like I said, JC Garner's going to be on. Reed Timmer will be here from TVNweather.com. And you'll be able to ask him any questions you want, and he'll answer those on the air for you as well. So really looking forward to that. And until next time, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great night. And as to borrow the phrase from Reed Timmer, never stop chasing. Have a good night, everybody.